So hi everyone, today this video we're gonna discuss how to increase our emotional intelligence. And a quote that has been coming even more famous than already was in the past days that they were created. The quote says that probably the success of someone can be determined by 20% of the key that he got and probably the large majority of what rests, so the 80%, a lot is determined by the emotional intelligence. So how emotionally intelligent a person is. But what's the concept of emotion intelligent or a key that we normally can call is the ability to recognize, understand, manage, and influence emotions, both your own and those of others that obviously you got interaction with, and probably to make it clear, the ability and having like good emotional intelligence is a step forward. So to have like ability to influence others to do the actions that you do want. So obviously emotional intelligence. Just by giving one example of one of the things that probably is more powerful, the ability to influence others. And so obviously by having this ability to recognize in me, and so if I recognize that I'm sad more quicker than normal one, I will also have a higher ability to solve and not solve with problems of having this emotion and other one just getting like the perception in a higher stage that is more like difficult to be controlled. So emotional intelligence is like having knowledge and obviously applying that knowledge. It's like High-key. High-key, you guys have like the ability to recognize patterns, to think logical and critically, but you have to get the ability to apply in real outcomes that obviously so is going to introduce what's your potential in your cognitive potential. And so with that say, I think it's clear and to help us to be better in that skill, because this is a skill is like communication, like critical reasoning. You have to understand that it's easier to break down in parts and to work each one specifically and adopting some practical examples in order so to put you in like better classified in that skill if you're like will have like to rank the whole world in a test. So first step, the ability to understand the five components of emotional intelligence: self-awareness, self-regulation. So it's so important this three step that we kind of, it's kind of some more specific, but it's kind of determines a lot so our success in life, that is the ability to regulate the motivation. Other step, empathy, so the empathy to work with other ones. And so 5-1, the introducing outcomes with other ones, our social skills, so to interact with the people. So first of all, it's like emotional intelligence, I could like make a division between the one that's more kind of rounded for us, to ability to manage us, and the other part is the ability to manage other ones. So first of all, starting with the ability to manage us. First, we have to develop self-awareness. It's important to develop self-awareness. And what's about self-awareness? Self-awareness just talks about the ability that we should have to perceive our emotions. And that obviously requires knowledge, study. You can, what are like the emotions that you would like to get awareness and why it's important. As I give example, some of the emotion that we have when we just perceive is like we have already, our body has already tried, probably has already been in a state that you can be like less prone to have like the ability to control the outcomes that comes with being in an emotional state that the emotion will generate to you. For example, as I say, if you are interacting with other one and you will not like obviously to just do something bad, if you don't understand that you are stressed, probably so the emotions that the stress is going to generate, what are like the effects that he has on you, probably will become someone that doesn't like seem to be trustworthy because you're so stressed that the message that you pass for the other ones probably so not going to be something that you will like. Even for example, if you want and you were talking with the people in the with the objective of probably doing something that for the people is has to be done by someone that is strong confident, and so if you don't have the ability to be self-aware, you're gonna so probably be more prone to do something that is passing a trustworthy type of message by having being by allowing to be absorbed by what are the effects that comes with being stressed. So self-awareness, and self-awareness is built by understanding that all the emotional states that I want and I'm create and can be created and I can be in are result so from a long chain that which more close I kind of perceive that this chain is generating, better, more will be effective the step of regulating that is the next one. But so, how to develop self-awareness? Being someone that understands what are the physical effects of being in emotion state. For example, in stress, normally, what you have to perceive, if your fingers, if your face, they tends to be colder than what's normal, if you're feeling that you kind of have like agitation, so that you're too much excited, in stress, it's easy, you get like, you can understand your heart rate, but it's like exists a complete guidebook that you should just type of search, and it doesn't have to need, you don't need to spend money in a book. You can search like for EA and it gives you what's like type of symptoms that the main type of emotion that probably you would like to be self-aware that you are present. As I said, stress or shyness. You can be as well as see happy, you can be perceived as well can be being angry or being sad. And this is useful because, for example, in sad, if you already perceive you're sad in the long in type of or the early trigger of the emotion sad being present in you and your body, if you like have like the ability to early understand it, you can so make a reversion to be in a neutral to happy mode better, because it's something that it's logical to think about now. So understanding what's like the physical type of key points that you have to look to understand, so what's the emotion that's regulating you. And so now what will be important too is to work in so or to do the self-regulation by having in that state mode. For example, in talking about the emotion of stress, was like the best way to self-regulate by being in a neutral mode again. What science seems to say, so getting knowledge. What is self? It's like in probably in opposite of it of the what they call as IQ. That's like the measure that we people tend to think that's crucial for having a good life. Probably this one is a bit more genetically, that is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence requires a lot of ability to get the knowledge and apply more the knowledge. You can increase your IQ, even obviously it's better the potential of increase which more so you're younger, because your brain is still having and being working and is being building, and so is more plasticity. But emotional intelligence is something that is even more crucial, and it's something that you can learn in like higher potential to change your level in that skill, because it requires a lot of knowledge. What's the knowledge? What science seems to say that's best to regulate stress, and what it says, can give you this trick, is that the best thing that you can do is making a briefing technique that's called the a technique that's close from what you do when you're crying. When you're crying, you're going to see that sometimes the breathing is like you have a two-time inspiration and a long expiration. It's like making inspiration 2 seconds quick and stuck, and do another inspiration another 1 second till you so get your lungs fully fired, and then like 4, 5, 6 seconds you do a long expiration, and you do this cycle a lot of times. You're going to see that your effects and the way that you're stressed, and obviously the stress by being someone that influences the way you think, the way you take actions, the decision making. That's one of the things that's most small, but you can call that's the determinant for what's your success in your life. It's something that you have to take care. So self-regulation, it passes a lot by applying techniques to our body. It can be techniques as breathing, can be techniques as rationalizing. So when you perceive them in a specific state, you kind of trigger and unleash a series of thoughts that you have already established that will be so put you in a more clear way. So understanding that whatever you are angry, you're feeling angry, you, if you have like, and you have done the work to establish that when you, by understanding what are the feelings, so the first type of pillar to have emotional intelligence in a higher level, the self-awareness, you already so understand how to perceive that you are with anger. And then the second step, self-regulate, you already have worked to that. If you perceive that you are so with anger symptoms, you're gonna so work in a way to prevent. What's the best thing that science seems to say? Get away from the thing that's generating your anger. So in the discussion, the best thing is go away. Is go away. Now that you have gone away, other thing to self-regulate your anger to don't happen again is making a process of rationalizing. So questioning why I feel angry. Is the anger is justified? Why so the buying being justified? What are the things that I can do for doesn't feeling that anger again? Is something that the was like the causes. It's something that I can modify or something that I cannot. If I cannot, so I don't gonna do like something that it's possible because I cannot change. So I just gonna have to work in things that reduces the anger. It's something that so I can change, can avoid. So see if it's avoid something that's gonna benefit me or not. So thinking critically, I'm just looking for critical, develop critical reasoning. That's why it's important to say IQ tends to be people with good IQ. They tends to be have like high emotional intelligence too because they can apply critical reasoning in their self-regulation, the self-perception. It's something that has to be done, and so that's why we have present in a skill that is already good. Critical reasoning. Critical reasoning help us to have higher IQ and help us as well to have higher emotional intelligence. These type of skills is what we tend to sharp, to polish, because they're the ones that they tend to influence all the type of skills that are so the most important to have a successful life. Now that we have perceived in NF self-regulation, the fourth step, building and being the ability to work with motivation. I already developed a video and I've already unleashed a video in this channel that talks about how to become more motivated for what I want and also how to destroy the motivation for things that I don't want to do but I have kind of addicted to. If you want so to understand this three pillar in emotional intelligence, see these videos in the channel. And other step, build empathy, understanding other ones. And what's the ability to understand others? So if I'm done the self-awareness to understand my type of emotions that are over in my body just by looking by my physical type of effects, I can look for other ones, understand so by their physical type of characterization what seems so to say that they are. Something are things that are more easy than not, so we have limitations in comparison with us, but we have the science that studies the corporal language that I recommend you to analyze, and you don't need to pay all books to master this. You can use EA that has a lot of skills and a lot of knowledge will be kind of reunited in just one center that you can develop. Now, improve social skills. Now that you've done and you have worked in you, regulate, motivate. So being in a state that what we produce as matches for other ones are more controlled because you are self-aware for what can make you pass something that you will not like. You can have the ability to self-regulate and put you in better state. The ability to get motivation for what has to be done to get good outcomes now requires from you as well having the ability to regulate others, so feeling empathy, understanding so what are the state of other ones, to see so how the interaction of knowing what you are and what you do with the ability as well to know how the other one is and so how they are too, and then so make a complex mix. You kind of control with more of the feedbacks that the reaction that you generate can have in real outcomes from you. So I expect this video has helped you and make a recommendation to get and thrive in this skill that I've talked about in this video, to see the other videos in this channel. See you in the next one.